Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do begin, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, we had quite a number of things happen. We had Deku, and we also had Kara. Now, a lot of emotions have been thrown around. Deku, right now him and Kara have decided to get together. He also went and actually had a talk with his father, the one who's still alive thanks to a device Department K built with blueprints. Now, right now, Deku and Kara, the two find themselves in a very strange situation. They're mourning their friends, but they're pursuing emotional, romantic feelings towards each other. They want to hide this from Clark and, well, basically try and be there for him at the same time. They want to be his friends, be there for him, but they also want to be with each other. And right now, the whole drama being thrown around, it's just going to make it all worse. Batman and Clark are having an argument, and it's gone way too far. It all needs to stop. Now, right now, Deku and Kara, they currently are laying in a field. And Deku, he does talk about it. He's not saying it was a bad idea, but it was worth a shot. And Kara does talk about it. Maybe so, but the tractor, it can evenly do all this to the ground. So them just trying to use their bare hands as tools, I mean, it worked good for the most part, but her gonna sit up and look around, talking about it. It doesn't really seem like they can put plants in there. I mean, the ground just looks way too uneven. Destroyed? Destroyed is better. Now, Deku, he does make a remark sitting up and grabbing a handful of dirt that maybe it's so, but hey, him chucking it directly at Kara, telling her, it doesn't all have to be bad. Besides, they're already covered in this stuff. Now, Kara, she does go to reel back, her grabbing herself a handful of mud and going to toss it back at Deku. And right now the two, they do have a bit of a fight. Now, Deku and Kara, they've been on the farm for some time. They've stayed together, and they've even been trying to talk to Cal more. He's willing to talk, willing to listen to somebody, but just standing down, that's where it's difficult. So, it's possible for them to talk to him, use reason, but he's still fighting them. Now, Clark, he's been getting more and more annoyed. Batman and his team have been silent for months. No word on what's going on with them. No activity. The only thing they have was the lead Deku gave them. He sent something through the mail. Yeah, okay, but he could send that from anywhere. He could have sent it from up the fucking street in Smallville. I mean, shit. There's no way to track him. No way to find him. He can't do it. Hal, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, none of them found him. That being what Superman does currently think. He needs to talk to DeVille. Maybe he does know something. Now, Clark does get a stand, and right now he would get to fly away. DeVille, he's been doing good. He's done a lot here on Earth. He was a good hero. His methods. He tried to talk them down at one point, but now he's using them. Right. DeVille had a plan in place, didn't he? Maybe he could actually help this world. Find Batman's insurgents, put them behind bars, and then they start helping more. Being more involved? No. Protecting. They start protecting more and more. Now, right now, Clark, he does walk into the Kent home. And whenever he does so, there is where Deku, he does come walking out of a room in a pair of sweatpants. And right now he actually is washing off his hair with a towel. Now, Deku is walking into the room asking Cal exactly what he's doing here. And right now he actually will go to set down the towel as he does look at him. Hmm? You seem to be quite comfortable here. Sort of. It's simple, yeah, but it's also good. Did the place get rebuilt? I mean, what happened to this place? The kitchen looks a little different. Right. Um, it got blown up. Ah, I'm assuming that happened after my identity, yeah. Listen, Duville, there's a lot we need to talk about, a lot we need to at least sit down and discuss. A lot of things I could use your help with. You wanted to do a lot when you arrived, and I got it. I'm willing to listen, willing to sit down and hear you out, hear what you had to say. I could use your help on a lot of other things I have planned but I haven't brought forward yet. Maybe it will help. Okay, now, Deku, you're gonna walk around and gonna talk about it. Clark should sit down. He'll pour a cup of tea. He's assuming the farm boy likes sweet tea. Now, Deku gonna walk over to the fridge and open it up, pulling out a pitcher, as right now you're gonna pour a glass for him and a glass for Clark. Him expressing, as you're gonna put it back in the fridge and close it, that the tea actually is pretty good. He thought it was a little too sweet, but it grew on him. Now, Clark does talk about it, as Kari shows come walking out, and she's talking about it as well. Her actually looking at Cal, as she does go to walk over and go to pour herself a glass as well. As the three do sit down, and Clark does talk about this. He wants to understand what both of them had to say. And right now, talk. Now, Deku does go right into it, and so does Kara. Kara had an idea to do this. At least simple and more easily effective. Switch over certain power sources to different things. Turn away from gas and go for something else. Maybe use kryptonian tech and actually build a power source there. I mean, you have people like the Atom. His tech might be able to solve world hunger. So maybe if you shrink down enough energy plants or places to build energy, you can basically revolutionize everything. You could basically build an energy farm to power the entire planet if you shrink it down to be less than the size of a road. I mean, imagine a city, you built it. Its entire purpose is to power the planet. Then you shrink it down and put it in a bottle. It still works. It can still produce that much energy, but it might be, well, it's just hard to explain. Physics plays a part in it, and that's the weird part. Now, Clark, he does kind of get it. That's where Kara's going. Basically, unify the world's power. They all have it and they all share it. Okay, that does sound good. A little strange, yeah, but hey, effective, but they'd have to run lines throughout the entire planet. Okay, that's a bit of a problem. Not impossible, but a bit of a problem. Now, there is actually Deku. He himself does talk about it. Maybe for what they can do for the insurgents and people in the underground is this. Anyone in the regime who has had a power pill, they are allowed to go undercover. But they can only do so with those power pills. Even then, people who are looking to actually help Superman, people who are actually willing to have ties with the regime but not be employed by them. Basically, the outsiders who help. Think of a mercenary. You pay the person for their services, and they get a pretty sweet gig out of it. They get power pills and they get permission to beat shit up, blow shit up, and do a bunch of crazy shit that a lot of people don't get to do. Basically, they're paid to mess with the bad guys. They're paid to kill them and take them down. They have certain immunities, but if it does come to it, they are also still responsible for those crimes, those acts. If they break their own rules, they can be arrested right then and there. Or they cut ties and they still have to answer for that crime. I mean, it's simple. Who will they believe? Now, Duville does make it sound a bit more evil than that, but I mean, it does sort of make sense. They get to do a lot. They get to be the agents and actually be heroes, trying to bring these people down. But if they do step out of line, they do get held responsible for whatever they did. Okay, that sounds like a good severe punishment, but what would happen if the person actually is arrested or, well, not even put behind bars? Okay, that might have to go on the shelf. The outsider agency. Okay, that. Now, Cal does toss it around. Deku is giving Clark ideas on how to deal with the regime, how to handle proper troop placement. It's a chess game. You have to be careful as to where the pieces are. However, right now, Clark can't see the board. He's trying to move the pieces when he doesn't even know where they are. He's practically grabbing at them in the dark. Clark, he would actually get to hear some of their concerns. Some are honestly good to hear back on, feedback-wise, and others these two have no comment on. So Cal, he does have to sort of file those thoughts under possibly good response, or maybe it's good, but it's just they don't feel it's a good idea. Now, that is where Clark, he does lie. And right now, whenever he does go to leave, the two, they do breathe a sigh of relief. Clark, he is taking more and more control, but he's also trying to be better about it. I mean, the Hall of Justice, it's not just a throne he sits on, right? Now, right now, Deku and Kara, the two, they do go back to relaxing and enjoying the day. The world is safe. Nothing bad is going to happen. Now, right now, something bad is going to happen. And it is a few days later. I believe her name is Renee Montoya. Now, Renee, she is angry. She is still mourning the loss of her wife. She was killed. Huntress, a woman she loved. She was taken from her by Wonder Woman. Her neck snapped. Right now she wants revenge. Right now she blames Superman. It's all his fault. I mean, hell. She wants to kill the man, and she'll make that quite apparent. Now, Renee Montoya does ambush Cyborg and Robin, and right now she will go to call it out. Damian Wayne will die if Superman does not come face her. She will break this child. She will kill the boy. Now, right now, Batman, he's caught off guard by this. And there actually is where Superman, he would go to hear about it. He was talking to his parents. And right now he does go rocketing out of the fortress. And there actually is Deku, who right now, while he was laying down, the TV was playing. And then it talked about how somebody, they're currently attacking at the Washington Monument. Now, right now, they do go to see it. Renee Montoya, Renee, call out Superman. Now, it feels weird saying the full name of that character. It just throws me off for a second. Now, Renee, she actually does get ready. And right now, whenever Clark, he does could actually drop in, he does try and get her to stand down. However, Renee, she's mad. She's angry. And right now, she is going to let out her rage on Superman. One of the only people on Earth who could take it. Now, right now, she is going to throw her fist out and smash them into Clark. and she does try to pummel into him. And Clark, he does actually try and take the blows, bringing his hands up and defending. And there actually is whenever Deku does arrive. Right now he does come flying down. And whenever Renee, she did go to bring her hand up, her popping more of the super pills, there actually was Deku. Deku, he brought his hands out, him flying towards her as she actually just clock him directly across the face. And Deku, he does get sent flying down and into the ground. Him getting back up as right now Renee, she actually does run forwards and meet Superman. Now, she throws a fist right at him, right then left, and then she does go for an uppercut, her seeing the Man of Steel flying. Now, Deku, he does see her, and right now he actually will get to listen to her heartbeat, which does beat steady, but then it's beating more rapidly. And right now he does is hear it, thunk, 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 in her chest, over and over. The stress and the strain being put on her heart. The pills, they're doing too much. Now, Deku, he does look up towards her, and she actually will get to stare directly towards him as she does rush towards him, and Deku, he does get to get up. And right now Renee, she does get to throw out her right fist, and Deku, he does go to lower his head and dodge the blow. Him going to bring up his left arm and smash her right in the ribs. As the moment his left fist connected with her ribs, Deku, his right fist connected with her chin. Him going to send both shots directly at her. And right now she actually just gets sent flying into the air. Her right now flying a little off to Deku's right and smashing directly into something. Her getting back up. And right now Clark, he does going to fly down. Him expressing to Renee that she needs to calm down. He gets that she's angry, but what she's doing, she's going to kill herself. She is putting too much strain on her heart. Now, Deku, he does hear about that, and he actually will confirm. Clark is telling the truth. Renee, just stand down. Now, she actually does start to rush towards Deku, and Deku, he actually does go flying backwards and into the air. As right now, when Renee, she does go flying upwards and into the air to try and grab one of the two kryptonians, she grabbed onto Clark, the two being sent flying down into the ground, as right now there is whenever she does stand above him. Her right now smashing her fist directly into the Man of Steel's face. And there actually is Deku, who right now he does get to fly down and actually grab onto one of her hands. Her holding her fist as Deku actually just feel her fight his strength. It's so unnatural to him. Now, right now Renee just stared directly at Deku. And right now, Renee, she does actually have the green fluid pour from her eyes as Deku does watch her. And that thunking he heard, the one pounding against her ribcage, it suddenly stopped. Now, Renee, she actually stared at Deku before she will get to look back down towards Clark, as her nose, it does run along with fluid pouring from her mouth. Now, Clark actually does try to get back up, him helping Renee get to the ground, as right now he's trying to at least hold out hope. She won't die, she won't die, she'll be okay. She'll be okay. But they were wrong. And then Bruce Wayne showed up. Now, Bruce Wayne, he was in shock. She tried to go out taking down Superman. I mean, hell. Gotta say, that's one way to try and go. Now, Clark, he does allow Batman to leave, and Wonder Woman, she actually does question this. However, Batman, him and his allies are allowed to leave. And this is where things get a little bit more complicated. Right now, there actually is the gods. The gods, they have seen much happen. They have seen men turn from worshipping them to worshipping each other. They don't like that. Right now, they want to resolve it. They want to fix it. They want man to remember them. And that starts with bringing down a man people seem to worship. he's not a god. He's just an alien, not one from this earth. So, if he is a god from the stars, he should have told them. Right now, though, he is no god. He is just a mortal. A mortal they will underestimate. Now, that is where the gods, they do go and enact their plans. And the Amazonian army, it is sent marching on the Hall of Justice. Now, Deku and everybody, they're actually kind of surprised. As whenever Wonder Woman does see the Amazons, she does try to take command, being informed that because of how her mother struck a deal to wake her up, she was owed a favor. Now, she cashed that favor, or they cast that favor from her, I mean. I got that mixed up. Now, right now, Wonder Woman, she actually has tried to fight this action, and the insurgency, they do show up. Now, Batman and Clark, they stare each other down. And right now, there actually is where the gods, they do inform them as to what's happening. And Wonder Woman, she does try and actually at least make things a bit easier. Less bloodshed. No one needs to die. No Amazons needs to die, and none of their allies need to die. None of their friends. She decides that if she is going to minimize casualties, there will be only one. And she does call for trial by combat. Now, that the gods will allow. And right now, whenever they do actually permit this, they do have a lot of things happen. They're all teleported away. And then the, regime, they're told to choose their champion. And right now, Kal-El from Krypton is chosen. And then there actually is the insurgents. They are told, choose their fighter. Right now, they need to at least understand this. If one does not yield, then they will fight. If one does bleed or pass out, then that is a victory. They will win. However, the fight is not over. They should take their chance and kill the opponent. If they can, they should do it quickly. However, if they do want to make them suffer, they shouldn't do that. They will be killed quickly by the opponent. Now, it does seem odd. And Deku does stand there watching Batman. Who would Batman pick to fight? Okay, so Kal-El. He's going to be fighting somebody. Now, Batman does say it. He chooses Duvil Zod to be their champion. And Deku, he actually stare up towards Batman. Him actually a bit angry. They can't do that. Now, there actually is Kara. Kara, she actually stared directly at Deku, a bit surprised. And right now, Deku, he's just caught off guard. He's gonna be, no, that can't happen. No. Deku does try to refuse. And the gods, they tell them very plainly, that will not happen. Right now, they do need to understand. They will directly intervene if this fight is not fought. Along with that, Wonder Woman's mother, she will be executed if this fight does not happen. Now, the gods tell Wonder Woman she wanted a trial by combat, and yet she has the biggest problem with this. So, she just need to understand. Is the life of her mother worth that much? Or will she just throw it away? Will she intervene and stop, and they all be forced to fight each other? Or will this fight happen and her mother stay alive? Now, Wonder Woman, she will go to fall silent. And right now there actually is Deku and Clark. These two have to fight each other. And, survival, that's their goal. Now, Clark does talk to Deku, expressing about how they'll fight. And Deku does stare at Cal. I mean, unsure. A death match? Now, the two do both stand there. And right now, Deku, he does express to Clark They don't have to do this. Him bring his hands up, as Clark does go to bring his own hands up, telling him, right now they do. Right now, though, they should probably know. If this fight does happen, and he does win, does he have to execute him? No. Deku and Clark do stare at each other. Deku doesn't want to kill Clark, but Clark, yeah. Right now he's at a strange stage. If he does have to kill Duville, he will. But he doesn't want to. The boy, I mean, he's done good. But there's a problem here, though. He's gonna have to actually try and not hold back. Duville's a trained killer. And him, he does have combat experience, but nowadays, he has to actually try and train. Not good. Now, right now, Clark, he actually stand there ready. And Deku does see his face. He's seen that face in a lot of people before. And he knows exactly what's about to happen. Clark is actually going to try. Clark is actually going to try and kill him. He sees straight through it. The emotion. There's no fear. There is nothing. Clark, he has to lose. So, he'll fight, because he does have everything to gain. Now, Deku, right now he does still think about that. What he saw in Clark's eyes. And with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.